We're back, YouTube, and we got a special one for you today. We're going to be talking about 5 plugins every audio engineer needs. Now, this is a cool and touchy subject because every engineer is different. All their workflow is different, their computers are different, their mics are different, so it's a personal and touchy subject. So that's why it's always cool to ask engineers, what are your 5, top plugins? If I had to start with 5 plugins that are do or die, basically 3 that are do or die that you definitely need and 2 that you kind of just use in your workflow to make things sound good. I should have thought about this before I started making this video, but don't sleep on this plugin. My first favorite plugin would be the Waves R-Channel EQ. And the reason I like this plugin is because this is how I usually start my mix. Just to find all the harsh frequencies and sweep, and I just love the way you can, feel the frequencies when you're sweeping and kind of duck down what you want to get everything out that you don't want. All the harsh sounds and the high end and the low end, just get it exactly where you want. So that would be my favorite first plugin. Waves R-Channel EQ. Second, I would have to go with compression, and it would definitely be the UAD Teletronics LA2A. And there's a bunch of different versions of it. I think my favorite one is the gray one for some reason. I don't know, it just makes me feel good. And the reason I like this plugin is because you could start compression and start compressing vocals or anything and really get a thick and bulky sound without sounding too harsh or like overpowering. So that's really why I like that plugin. Also, don't sleep on the Waves LA2A because I probably use that just as much. But if I was stuck on an island, I would have to go with the Teletronics just because it creates a feeling and a fat tone without sounding too harsh. So that's number 2. Number 3... 3 is a hard one. Alright, 3 would be another EQ, and it would be the Waves SSL channel. And the reason being is just because I've been using this plugin for as long as I can remember, and it's probably one of the first plugins I started to really learn how to mix and really get nasty with. So for me and my workflow, it's just very easy on my ears to find the tones I want, to start adding back from, we took away from the R channel. We found our sweeps and found what we wanted to take out, and then the SSL will start brightening things up and kind of bringing that back to highlight the things that we want and making things sound clean and crisp again. So the SSL is definitely amazing by Waves, and that would be my 3rd plugin do or die. Now we're going to go with another 2 plugins, and basically I was thinking more on the end of like reverb and delay. So reverb for me would have to be, this is a difficult one too, I'm just going to say one, would be the UAD Lexicon. And reason being is that it just makes beautiful sounds and you can manipulate it to how you want. And it just creates a very spacey or ambient or just any reverb that you really want, you can make happen out of the Lexicon. And then also you could like throw an EQ, underneath it and kind of tone it where you want to sit in the vocal in the mix. So that would be my favorite reverb. And then delays, this is a hard one too, because I would say the Kramer with the saturate, but no, I'd go with the H delay. Again, this is just a plugin that I know so well off the jump. The second I feel a BPM and feel a beat, I know exactly where my delays have to sit because I've been using the H delay for so long. That's the Waves H delay. And I just love it. Like sometimes in a session I'll have 3, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 of them, half, quarter, wherever you want your delays to be, and just automate a bunch of them in and always have a main one sitting on the vocal. So that's why I love the H delay, and just bust as many as you can to your vocals and just have a lot of fun with it and create sections in a song that really stand out. You could do that easily with the H delay. So that's my 5. That's my 5 do or die plugins if I was stuck on an island and I had to make a living off music. Those are the ones I would need, I believe. So I'm going to go ask my friend Ray Scavo, who is, Grammy winning with Kendrick Lamar, works with Ghostface Killah. He also just opened a studio called the Continental Studio in Staten Island. So if you're in Staten Island, definitely holler at Ray Scavo, or even if you're on Long Island, in Manhattan, he works at all the big studios as well. So let's go FaceTime our good friend Ray and ask him the same question. What's 5 plugins that are do or die for you? Well, 3 that are do or die and 2 that you kind of need. All right, let's get it.
Yo.
Mr. Ray Scavo over at Continental Studios. What's the word, my brother?
Peace. What up, King? How's everything?
Everything is good. Everything is good. So, right now, I figured I'd give you a call because you're the only nut job like me that I know that's a full-time engineer and trying to make a living off this stuff. I need to know, Ray, the legend you are, what are 3 plugins you must have, and what are 2 that you kind of sort of need that you love to use?
All right, so my top 3 Dead or Alive plugins, definitely. Fab Filter Pro Q3 is my number 1. I would say I need that at every studio because I feel like it's the only transparent EQ that there's really out there, and it's also sick because it's also a multi-band compressor as well as an EQ, which is fire because that helps me out a lot. I can do like 90% of a mix with just a Fab Filter and make it sound better than most other engineers. And then my other one is going to be the Soft Tubes Tube Tech CO1B. That is my baby compression. I love using it. It's very versatile, and it just sounds good on almost anything I use it for. And then I would say my last one would probably be, I would say, Waves Tune, because I use that a lot on a lot of hip-hop vocals, and I feel like the effects on Waves Tune are pretty nasty, like versus a lot of other ones. But now I'm starting to get into Terrace auto-tune as well, and auto-tune the effects, which actually is pretty dirty. So we'll see if I ditch Waves Tune altogether, thanks to some tips from a good friend of mine, Dr. E.
And what are 2 that are like kind of like reverb or delays or something like that? What are like 2 that you kind of need?
2 that I like to use a lot. I use Deverb. Deverb is one of my favorite reverbs. It's like just as a stock reverb. I feel like I could just make that sound so dirty with the right. Like I'll even compress sometimes or sidechain my reverbs just to really emphasize them at the end and make that kind of Post Malone swell build up at the end. And Deverb handles that pretty good. But I am going to switch to Altiverb 7 eventually, which is disgusting for reverbs as well. And then I would say another one that I use pretty often, too, is SSL channel strip, either the G or the E. Either one of those I probably use on almost everything I do because I'm so used to working on my SSL 9000 that I can't help but to use the actual SSL plugin anywhere I am. And I prefer the SSL one, the real one, over the Waves one, but the Waves one's pretty nasty, too. Nice.
All right, so we got Raymond's top 5 plugins, and Ray is a legend. Grammy winning, started in at small studios, worked his way up to the biggest studios, and now he owns a studio in Staten Island. Hold on, Ray, let me see those plaques behind you. Let me see those plaques on that wall I just saw. Shout out to Ray with Continental Studios in Staten Island.
Yes, sir. We here. Appreciate you, man. Dr. Eames, New Legends, love you all over there. And I'll definitely see y'all again soon, man. Much love.
Peace, Ray. Just want to say thank you to everybody that took the time to watch this. This is cool because this works for engineers that have 10, 20 years of experience and also engineers who are just starting and needs to learn what plugins they should use. So if you get the chance and have the funds, definitely mess around with these plugins that me and Ray just mentioned. I guarantee you it will help you in your workflow. But again, it doesn't matter what you use, how you use it, where you use it. It's about how it sounds in the end result of the song. So nothing I say, nothing Ray says is correct or wrong. It's just what works for us and what we enjoy. And you probably have a different workflow and probably have different answers that probably might sound fire. So I love you all. If you could, subscribe. We're getting really close to finishing the studio. I know you saw the last video with the door. I'm just getting really excited. We still have to finish the ceiling, and then we're getting back to it. So I love you, YouTube. Thank you for your support. It's Doc Eames at New Legend Studio. Holler at Ray Scavo on Instagram, RayScavo, for any bookings in Manhattan, Staten Island, or even here in Long Island. So let's get it. Audio engineers, let's create and make sounds nobody else is doing, and let's push limits and work together. I love you all. Peace.